Hi guys, it's Colleen from Siempre Soul 1111. I hope you're all doing well. I thought I'd do another video this week just to do a quick weekend check-in on how the Twin Flame Collective is getting on. We're going to look at the Divine Feminine first, then the Divine Masculine. To anybody new that subscribed this past week, thank you so much. And for everyone that has subscribed and bared with me, thank you very much also. I'm super grateful for each and every single one of you. Usual drill, if you haven't and you don't already follow my Instagram page, please go over and give the page a like. It's at Siempre Soul 1111, and on there I post weekly twin flame readings, and I do sort of monthlies by star sign on there as well. So I'm hoping to try and start uploading a little bit more regularly. My internet is changing in a couple of weeks, and I'm hoping that will enable the uploads to be a bit quicker than they currently are. Thus making it a bit easier for me to upload videos for you guys and keep you in check with what's going on in the energies in the collective. So we're going to start off with the Divine Feminines. I'm just giving the cards a quick shuffle. Obviously these readings are general, guys, so kind of take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. And if the reading doesn't resonate with you at all, then it's just not for you. My readings are timeless. So again, even though this is being recorded today, which is the 2nd of August, and you could watch this in a few months' time, if the reading resonates, then the message was definitely meant for you at the time. Okay, so we're going to start off with messages from the Divine Feminine to the Divine Masculine. These are the Awakened Twin Divine Feminine Oracle deck. Let's take a little look. I'm going to pull 2 cards. Yeah, I am the embodiment of love. So feminines, you know, I think all of the work that you guys have been doing in terms of your triggers, the purging, the healing, you guys, you know, this is unconditional love. This is having unconditional love for self and unconditional love for your Divine Masculine also. Need to cleanse my energy. So perhaps, you know, more recently in the recent separation period, feminines, you've had time to kind of focus on yourself, and you're focusing on your own healing and purging, whilst your DM does their work too. If I say he or she, also know that it's not gender specific, okay? So take what resonates with you. The energies can also be interchangeable. So you could find sometimes that you resonate if you're normally feminine, but you resonate more with the masculine. It's quite normal for the energies to interchange, and for sometimes one or the other or both of the readings will resonate with where you're at in your life. So don't be confused by that too much. Right, so the first thing we're going to look at is what the feminines are thinking over the weekend, really. The energies for the Divine Feminines over this coming weekend. Let's take a little look. Okay, so there's a situation, feminines, where you've been feeling stuck. And I do feel perhaps for this, you know, for the collective that I've been picking up on lately, you know, the element of feeling stuck is a bit kind of, it's more to do with whether you step forward first or you let your masculine step forward first. And I think that's where the confusion and sort of the element of feeling stuck, partially because I feel that it's not a normal response for you guys. You know, you're used to being the driver, the one that's pushing things forward. And I feel like with the 8 of Swords, you want movement. And because the movement isn't in your hands and you're not in control of it, you have at times felt stuck mentally. And that would make complete sense, you know, but I think, like I said in previous readings, it's about kind of surrendering and just trusting and having faith that what's coming next. The Queen of Cups, we've also got in the headspace here. So that tells me that you guys are feeling very stable emotionally. You know, you're in a pretty good place. I am the embodiment of love, and that's exactly what the Queen of Cups is. It's about sort of emotional stability and feeling sort of centered within yourself, and having sort of the feminine element of your energies more balanced. You know, it's definitely, it's kind of like a combat there with heart and head, I feel, almost as well. And there, you know, this element and what you've been feeling stuck about is perhaps that your masculine's not seeing this cup that you're offering at the minute. And I think it's easy for all of us to kind of want to push them in the right direction. But the truth of the situation is that you've been, if you force things before they're ready, it will just create an even bigger imbalance in the connection, and in turn cause some upset and hurt. And that's just something else that needs to be healed. Sometimes it's just a case of letting it breathe, you know. We've also got the 8 of Wands, and for me this is fast moving communication. So again, as I said, you know, in the previous reading that I did at the beginning of the week, you know, the masculines will be looking to step forward imminently, I feel, from the readings that I've been picking up on. I'm going to pull some clarifiers And interestingly, in this line in the headspace, you've also got 2 8s come up again, and 8s are kind of about movement, they're about change. So in a way as well, also getting the 8 of Swords and the 8 of Wands here, it's kind of like, should I stay or should I go? You know, it's one of those sort of situations where you're resisting the urge to be this energy at the moment, feminines, where you're just kind of go rushing in and wanting to create that movement and that change. And you're feeling more this energy where there's that hesitation to kind of step forward, which, you know, as I've said many, many times, everybody's journey is their own, and you can't kind of force or shove anyone in a specific direction. You've got to let them process and come to terms in their own time, you know, because this is a journey of healing for them as much as it is you. Right, let's look at some clarifiers in headspace for my divine feminines. Okay, so we've got the King of Cups clarifying the 8 of Swords. So, you know, this is why I love shuffling on screen, because look, you know, you've been feeling trapped about your King of Cups. And who's your King of Cups? The Divine Masculine. The Divine Masculine's not stepping forward at the minute. And these two characters, they're kind of back to back almost. So that's where, you know, what's been creating the conflict for you guys. You know, that resisting that urge to step forward and trusting in the fact that, you know, trusting in your manifestations. With the Magician card, you know, that's kind of, I got the power. That's what I call it. And that song, I got the power. It comes into my head every time I see this card. Because it's about kind of resisting the urge to step forward and sitting comfortably in your power, having faith that actually, you know, this is a divinely guided connection, and what's meant to happen, it will, when it's ready. Also getting the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups here sort of shows me that there's a definite element of balancing the emotional elements of you know, your masculine and feminine energies here. And it could also be about you and your, you know, your masculine mirroring each other emotionally, you know, finding sort of an emotional stability within the connection. And look, you know, clarifying the Queen of Cups is the Knight of Cups, and, you know, Knights are about communication, they're about action, moving forward. So the Knight of Cups is quite a slow moving energy, but, you know, it's still got his heart at the centre of the way that he's going to move forward. And I feel that, you know, that's linked to this up and coming communication that I can feel is happening within the collective. There's been a very big shift in the last couple of weeks. We're clarifying the 4 of Cups. We've got the Sun card as well. So again, you know, the Sun card is a sort of young, fun, happy energy. And I feel that maybe there's a shift of going from, you know, to bring about some change in this feminines. It's about going from that sort of lack mentality of he can't see what I can see right now. He's not feeling the same way as me. Ignore the pronoun. I'm talking about divine masculine, but it's just easier to say he and she than divine masculine and divine feminine all the time. Okay. So with the 4 of Cups, there's that sort of emotional feeling of they're not seeing what's being offered to them. And then in the opposite, the Sun card is about finding happiness. So I feel feminines, the advice of these cards in the mental space here is to move away from this feeling of lack, and that, you know, they're not sort of delivering on what you expect, and moving more towards finding harmony within yourself and happiness. You know, enjoy the good weather. We're having plenty of that here in the UK at the moment. London's been roasting in the last week, record temperatures. Okay, so we're going to take a little look now at the heart space, or how the divine feminines are feeling about this connection and their divine masculines for this coming weekend. Like I said, the readings are timeless, guys, so, you know, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and if you watch this later on and it resonates with you, then the message in this reading is for you, okay? Wow. Okay, so 3 of Pentacles in the heart space, or, you know, how you're feeling. So this is a case of wanting to work together with your masculines. 3, you know, 3s are about growth. They're also about relationships. But 3s are also about kind of short-term successes as well. So I think once the masculine does decide to step forward and the communication re-establishes itself, or the connection re-establishes itself in the physical, in the meantime, I also feel a little bit, guys, like this is a message from this is a message to you feminines to focus on your meditation and connecting with your masculine in the 5D. Yeah, because the 3D at the moment, they're confused and they're not sure which option to take, how to move forward. You know, I definitely feel there's been some sort of confusion and resistance from the masculines in terms of wanting to step forward in the right way. And the advice that I would give the masculines in this is to just kind of not overthink it too much. And feminines, you know, this came up earlier in a previous reading. You know, the 2 of Swords is about duality, and it's also about not burying your head in the sand about the situation. You know, because I think it's easy to say, oh, well, you know, this connection's not happening because they're not reaching out to me. But you're not seeing the work that's going on underneath it all, you know. So whilst the physical, I guess for me, the message in this card for you guys is to not be deceived, or not deceive yourself about what you're physically seeing in the 3D. Because underneath all of this, there's work going on, you know, with the masculines. And I think it's overcoming that, you know. We've also got the Star card, so a Major Arcana card here. And the Star card for me is all about wishes being granted. It is. So, you know, the work that's coming with the Magician card as well, you know, here. So that's, you know, that's a very solid message that there's going to be communication coming in. And that, you know, the manifestations and the time that you're spending connecting with your masculine in the 5D here, through your meditations, and is going to support them in terms of how to move forward, and it's going to ease the confusion that they've got. I also feel there's a message in this for you feminines as well, in terms of not confusing yourself. You know, this is very simple. Let them come to you when they're ready, you know, because you focus on your manifestation, you focus on, you know, connecting with them in the 5D, allow them to do the work they need to come forward in the 3D, you know, because wishes will come true, wishes will be granted. I'm going to just pull some clarifier cards for you guys in the heart space here, so we can take another little look. And then I'm going to pull some cards for you guys in terms of physical 3D. So communication in the 3D with the Page of Pentacles. Look, do the work in the 5D with your Divine Masculine. That's the 2 Pentacles for me there. The 3rd Pentacle is, look, is the Page is bringing it, and that will be your masculine stepping forward in the 3D to communicate. You've also got here the 8 of Pentacles, which is interesting. That's the 3rd 8. So the only one that we're missing at the moment is the 8 of Swords. Wait a minute. No, we've had the 8 of Swords. So we're missing. We've got 1 Swords, Pentacles, 8 the Cups, the 8 of Cups. So that's moving from confusion on the 7 to the 8 of Cups. That's what we want to see happen. But at the moment, you know, your masculine, yes, fine, he may be confused, but he's working hard, guys. He's working hard to, you know, to step forward and act in a place, you know, from a place of love, with some communication in the 3D for you guys. All right, in the physical. Wishes being granted, clarified by the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords is really painful energy, guys. Really, it's like the most painful energy in the deck for me. But it's also, being a 10, it's about bringing that cycle to a close. So I do feel, feminines, if you've been doubting this connection mentally, I feel that if you've been doubting it in the 3D because you're not seeing in the physical those changes that you want to see happen, stop it. This is that sort of, this energy here is like worlds apart. This is like, I've been stabbed in the back. This connection is not serving me. Mentally, I'm just exhausted and drained. I've got nothing left in the tank. But the universe is going, hey, I'm here. This is, you know, this will happen in divine timing. Move away from this. Step away from the 10 of Swords, you know. So I feel that the nice thing with this, feminines, is that you've kind of, you know, you're going from the 8 of Swords of feeling stuck to having that faith, trusting that this is a divinely guided, wish being granted connection, and bringing about that to a close. And as you bring that situation to a close, yes, fine, releasing control, clarifying the 2 of Swords, this is a Fool card. Having faith takes the leap. It takes a leap of faith to get there. This is, oh my God, the most amazing connection I've ever had with anybody in the world. You know, there's that magic, and then nothing. And that's, you know, that's a transition mentally, that the overthinking side of things needs to come to a close. Mentally feeling stuck about how to move forward. It's not your job right now. It's not. For this collective I'm picking up on. Your job is to kind of focus on yourself. Cleanse your energy, yeah? Be the embodiment of love and look after you. Be kind to yourself, invest in yourself. Take that leap of faith. Find the fun side. You know, with the Fool card, it's a very youthful energy, and that's mirrored here with the Sun card. Also very youthful, fun, vibrant energy. Right, we're going to take a little look in the physical. Oh, those cards jumped out. King of Swords and Nine of Swords. Okay, so there's a situation where I feel, feminines, that you're kind of resisting the urge to step forward and perhaps have a relatively stern conversation with your masculines. And, you know, I do feel, you know, you've got a lot of swords coming up in this reading with the Eight of Swords, the Ten of Swords, so in the heart space, bringing that Tao over, you know, to a close. But I feel that taking that leap of faith is definitely causing, you know, some anxiety within you, feminines, and I do feel some of you may not be sleeping very well. You know, focus on some meditation, take some time out for yourselves, take a walk in nature, just walk barefoot on the grass. Who cares if people are watching, you know? Just take a bit of time to kind of silence the mind a little bit, because overthinking can be really damaging, not just to you but to the connection overall. Because, you know, in quantum physics, if thoughts become things, what are you manifesting? What are you manifesting, feminines? Are you manifesting hurt? Are you manifesting anxiety? Feeling stressed? Feeling stuck? Or do you want to be like, you know, do you want to manifest that dreams can come true? You know, I trust you, universe. I trust you. This connection can and will happen. In fact, masculines, I trust you. I trust you to step forward. You are my King of Cups. Don't rely on the masculine to be the one to release you from this energy. You can do that yourself, and I promise you, happiness can be restored, because happiness is an inside job, my darlings. It really, really is. But I understand that, you know, relinquishing that control and releasing it is going to be a source of anxiety, because guess what? The ego's not going to like that. It's not. Those two cards really, they flew out of the deck. Yeah, look. Okay. Nine of Swords, Ten of Wands. Releasing the burden, letting go of the burden, looking to the future and bringing that cycle to a close. We've got another 10 here, so we've got cycles coming to a close. I do feel that the anxiety that you've been feeling, feminines, is about wanting to be the one to move forward, wanting to be the one to communicate. Computer says no. Right, let's get you some clarifiers in the 3D. In the physical, let's have a little look at what's going on here for you guys. Yeah, okay. Clarifying the King of Swords is the Four of Wands. What's the Four of Wands? Anyone that watches my videos, what's the Four of Wands? It's my twin flame card, look, 1111. Make that wish. Wish is being granted. Stability to the connection. Resisting that urge to step forward and communicate and taking control of the situation. Oops, wrong way around. Four of Wands. Clarifying the Nine of Swords. This makes complete sense with the energy that I've been picking up on through this reading. It's clarified by the Five of Pentacles. What's Five of Pentacles? It's being left out in the cold. It's instability. It's conflict. What you're seeing in the 3D, in the physical from your masculines, is a source of conflict, and this separation has made you feel left out in the cold. And that's okay. Of course, that's going to hurt you. Of course that's going to be upsetting. Of course you need to, you know, work on purging that, releasing that. Clarifying the Two of Wands, we've got the Seven of Cups. So this is the second time this has come up in your reading, feminines. And this is about confusion. There's sort of that element of looking to the past and missing what you've got. But what you're not seeing is you've got the whole world in your hands. You know, and your masculines will step forward once the confusion about how to step forward lifts for them. And that too is a process, the same way it's a process for you to heal the anxiety surrounding the connection not moving at the rate that you want. Clarifying the the Ten of Wands, we've got the Two of Pentacles. So again, interestingly, this is the second two that you've had come up, feminines. And the Two of Pentacles is very much that energy of sort of I always do this when I see the Two of Pentacles, because it's kind of like juggling one from the other. You've got the Two of Swords, which is like mentally just kind of burying your head in the sand about the situation, because really you're trying to tell yourself, don't move forward, don't move forward, don't contact him, don't contact them. Let them come to me. And that's a programming that you're trying to force within yourself. But that needs to come organically too. You know, you need to heal in a way that's right for you. This is all of our own individual personal journeys. What's right for me may not be right for you. But, you know, there's one thing I can tell you, that if there's confusion about feeling left out in the cold, you know, by this recent separation, and that's been causing you to not sleep, if there was any advice I could give to you in the physical 3D right now, feminines, is to bring that craving and that yearning to move forward and act. Drop the wands, bring it to a close. Yeah, focus on me, myself and I. You know, and if that's something that you've been toying with, let it go. Release it, surrender. You know, I like to use the metaphor of a tug of war and holding onto the rope too tightly, and your hands are getting, you know, rope burns on them because you're still just holding on desperately to that connection. Let it go. Just put some slack in the rope. Give yourself a break. Save your hands. I assure you, it's far less painful. Okay, right, feminines, I'm going to pull you my usual Doreen Virtue Romance Oracle card just to give you a little bit of advice for the coming weekend. Based around this reading, it's definitely about duality for you guys at the moment, and I feel that heart and head are not quite in sync in terms of full surrender at the moment, and maybe spend this weekend spending a bit of time to cleanse your energy, as the original message to your masculines came up, and focus on being the embodiment of love, but for yourself. Yeah, love yourself whatever stage of the journey you're at. Jeez, you deserve love. Yeah, there you are, feminines. You are lovable. So any of you that have been feeling like, you know, your masculine isn't in contact, they've not been reaching out, they're not stepping forward with communication, they see you. They see you. I'm going to pull you a Doreen Virtue Daily Guidance Oracle card as well, just to give you a little bit more guidance for the, you know, the coming week, I suppose, actually. But as I said, it is timeless. But this is in addition to, so this can be relative to the twin flame connection, or it can be outside of that. Notice the signs. Yes, the signs you've been receiving are heaven sent. We drop feathers, coins and other signs upon your path to remind you that you are loved and you're never alone. How crazy is that? The last card in the other oracle deck said you are loved. So feminines, look, if you've been feeling that you're not that lovable right now because your masculines are not stepping forward, drop it. It's not kind to yourself, and you wouldn't do that to your friends, to family. Be nice to yourself. You speak to yourself in here how you would talk to anybody else that you care about. Yeah? Right, we're going to move on now. So I'm just going to tidy up my cards, and we're going to move on straight into the Divine Masculine reading. So for any masculines watching, welcome. If you didn't see the intro at the beginning of this and you haven't cross-watched the feminine reading, I've got an Instagram page, so you're welcome to go and follow that, and I do regular readings on there. It's at CMPreSoul1111. The format for the reading is going to be looking at what you're thinking about the connection over this coming weekend, but the readings are timeless, and what you're feeling and what advice there would be for you in the physical 3D. That card wanted to jump out, so I am going to take it. Creepy. 8 of Wands, hashtag first card out. Communication is on the way, masculines. You guys have been working hard. And don't think your feminines don't notice. They do. They can feel it. They can sense it. Same way you can with them. Telepathy is a wonderful thing, huh? Right, I'm going to shuffle these. I'm going to do 2 more shuffles for you, my darlings, and then we're going to pull the cards. How are the masculines feeling? What are the masculines thinking about the connection? Communication, guys. I've been saying this for a little while, that there's that element of wanting to step forward. It's so hot here today. I feel like a sweaty, horrible mess. Right, let's split the deck. Take a little look what's going on for you guys. A side of communication. Feminines, this is going to be magic to your eyes. This is going to be, you know, soothing to the eyes. Wow, that's really interesting. So we've got the eight of Wands, which we all know 8s are about movement and change, but the 8 of Wands is for me about fast moving communication. So I have a feeling, masculines, that you're going to be on the march. As I said in the previous reading at the beginning of the week, there's going to be some form of communication. King of Cups, this also came up in the feminine's headspace, and this is how they see you. Masculines, you've been working really hard to balance yourself emotionally, and I think that's wonderful. You're sort of coming to terms with things and you're feeling more in control. You know, we've got the Knight of Swords here, and this is really rapid energy, and sometimes the energy of the Knight of Swords can be a bit brash, a bit rude, a bit sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Not aggressive, it's not quite that energy I'm feeling, but it can be just a bit dismissive and just say what I want to say regardless, and don't care about the consequences. But I feel in this particular reading, there is you want to approach this quickly, but with emotion. You know, this knight's charging towards the king, and this is about you moving towards becoming this, or you are this, and you want to move forward and communicate in this manner. You want to step forward as the King of Cups for your divine feminine. Remember, if I say he, she, it's irrelevant. You know, it's just based around energy, okay, not gender. We've also got a major arcana card here. It's the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune for me is about huge change, you know, but cycles coming to a close, and this wheel doing this great big clunky turn so that things change and things are different. And I feel almost a little bit like masculines, this is, instead of kind of rushing forward with the communication, there is going to be communication, you are going a step forward, but you're almost like moving away from that sort of behaviour. I feel almost like, instead of, I'm feeling like, I hear impulse. So instead of sort of being impulsive and responding and reacting, I feel like, you know, the change in you is going to be more about control and methodically moving forward in the right way, keeping your emotions in check, to bring about change to this connection. Right, I'm just going to shuffle these cards. I'm going to pull some clarifiers in the headspace, but ooh, I'm getting so in the swing of it. I haven't pulled the cards for what the masculine wants to say to the feminine. Let's do that first, guys. Sorry. It's because I'm not in my usual setup at home, so I missed the cards there. Right. What does the masculine want the feminines to know? What does the masculines want the feminines to know? From the bottom, I'm working on balancing my energy. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? I've been saying that for a while. And go you guys for having the restraint, you know, and doing the work, masculines. Feminines, that's where your masculine's at. And this one is just beautiful. I miss you dearly. Stunning. So yeah, I apologise I didn't do those at the beginning, but bear with me. You know I'm a little bit scatty. A little bit, maybe a lot. Alright, let's take a little look. Clarifies for the masculines, what are they thinking? Oh, that one would want to come. Wow, star card, wishes being granted. Wow, wow, wow. I feel with that, guys, that, you know, that coming up in the feminine's reading as a star card is you know, and that's coming up directly as underneath and clarifying the Eight of Wands here, you know, and that's, you know that, masculines, you know your feminine wants you to step forward and communicate. You know it. You know that that's their wish. You're aware of it and you're working on it. And feminines, you can ask for no more. If you're cross-watching on this video, you can ask for no more. Right, let's have a little look. We're going to split the deck because that star card came out of the deck. Okay, well, you know me. I only take cards if they come out in reverse out of the deck that way. And clarifying the King of Cups, you've got the Three of Pentacles, which came up in the feminine's reading as well, but that's come out in the reverse. So I do feel a little bit like that. The way I want to deliver this and what I'm hearing is that the masculine recognises that you need to work together, feminine, but this is coming from the opposite point of view. They're saying, right now I'm focusing on me, so you focus on you. You focus on your connection, because I feel like with the Three of Pentacles, you've got connection to the divine, you've got yourself, and you've got your masculine, right? Masculines, I feel like you've taken yourselves out of that situation right now because you're focusing on you. And in doing that, you're encouraging your feminines to kind of focus on themselves, yeah? Clarifying the Knight of Swords, you've got the Temperance. And again, this card is about balance, you know, and Temperance is about trusting in the divine, focusing on yourself. Actually quite feminine energy here. But it also shows me that instead of rushing forward mentally and choosing to, you know, go barging in and have an impulse response to things, you know, your masculine is kind of wanting to follow their intuition. Masculines, you're following your intuition more than you are following logic, you know. I feel like, you know, you've kind of turned your back on that situation and now you want to be, you know, follow your intuition more than you do your logic and your mind. Oh, look, this came up in the Feminine's reading as well. So clarifying the Wheel of Fortune, you've got the Knight of Cups. So the change is going to be you guys stepping forward and communicating. Offering a token of love. A token of care. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You know, you're missing your feminines, masculines. You are. They know that deep down, I think, sometimes. But we all know what it's like when the ego mind gets involved. You know, it causes you to doubt. But it's about you both having faith in this connection as well and keeping the connection stable. And the best way to do that is to focus on your own healing first. And I feel that with the Three of Pentacles, that's what the masculines are telling you to do, feminines. Focus on you. And that's interesting because the Two of Pentacles did come up in the last part of your reading, feminines. So I do feel maybe when we look at this collective as a whole, with the masculines having the Three of Pentacles in reverse, right now he's saying, don't work on me, work on you. And that maybe is why the Two of Pentacles came up in the latter part of your reading, feminine. So it was a reminder to kind of just focus on you and your connection to the divine. Focus on your meditation, focus on your own healing, much like your card said. You know, that was communication to your masculines. Right, let's take a look. How are the masculines feeling? What's going on in their heart space? Yeah. Woo! Lovely. So they're in hermit mode at the moment, guys. Taking a bit of time out. Looking after themselves like they're encouraging you to with this Three of Pentacles in reverse. We've also got the Knight of Cups here, which is about wanting to make forward movement. Second time that's come up in your reading, masculines. This is, you know, when the soul song gets loud, you have no choice but to follow, right? Right? You know what I mean, right? Knight of Wands, okay? So again, this is about rapid, fast-moving energy. I feel a little bit masculines at the moment with this. When you've got like fire in the wands and then you've got water with the cups, we're talking about action and emotion, yeah? Two things working together. But if there's too much water, it's going to put the fire out. So I do feel a little bit like it's kind of, not hot and cold, that's not right. But I feel like it's kind of, you get too emotional about the situation and then you're not sure how to move forward, and then because you don't know how to move forward you get emotional, and it's a bit like that chicken and an egg situation. That's what the energy feels like. It's kind of, and that mirrors actually with the confusion that came up in the feminine's reading. You know, I feel once you can overcome this need to kind of keep burning the flames and then dousing the flames and then burning the flames and dousing the flames, you know, once you overcome that, masculines, and we'll look with the clarifiers on how to do that, and I do feel almost a little bit like that is just taking some time out for yourself, and that's absolutely 1,000,000% the right thing for you guys to be doing. You know, it really, really is, because once you make the decision to move away from this and this becomes this on its own, and bear in mind there's two of these knights in this reading so far. So the emotions are getting the better over the action, you know, at the moment, which is a good thing. But with the Six of Wands here, you know, this is victory. This is kind of like walking through the town as a champion. But I feel almost, masculines, it's being victorious over your own thoughts and feelings on how to move forward. It really, really is. And I think the more that you're struggling with the fire and water, dousing the flames, igniting the flames, the more that you've got that kind of going on, the longer it's going to take you to get here. Let's get you some clarifiers in the heart space. You know, how the masculine is feeling about this connection right now. The side of wanting to take a bit of time, but two Knight of Cups there, guys. You know, there is definitely a massive pull towards you wanting to communicate. Really, really wanting to, you know, to communicate. I'm going to go with one more, just because that Three of Pentacles is in reverse, and I feel 3 is the magic number. interesting. The feminine's got the 2 of Wands, you've got the 3. So masculines, right now you're looking to the future. You're taking time to go within and map out what the next steps are going to be for your future. You know, you're waiting until the time feels right. And when the time feels right is when this becomes this. You know, that is when the time is going to be right for you. Yeah, Page of Wands, or rods as they're called in this deck, is clarifying the Knight of Cups. So again, it's about communication. Moving forward, communicating what your next steps are going to be. We've also got here, we've got the 9 of Pentacles clarifying the Knight of Wands. And for me, that's normally about being single, being on your own when it's in the upright. This has come out in the reverse. So for me, again, this is about kind of not wanting to be on your own, wanting to have that reunion. But I also feel a little bit with the energy on this as well, is that battle that you've got with how to move forward and how to act. It's kind of, how can I describe how I'm feeling right now? You don't want to be on your own. You want to reconnect with your feminine, but you're not sure how to do that, and that's what's causing this blockage. That's what's causing this blockage and not allowing the, you know, the movement to happen. Oh, lovely. So clarifying the 6 of Wands, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, and this is about new beginnings. Aces are all about new cycles, new opportunities. Pentacles are about money, but they're also about the physical 3D. So I feel like to bring about a new beginning, we need to get this 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is about sort of satisfaction, this card, and feeling contentment, feeling happy. And when it's in the reverse, it's the opposite of that, right? So whilst there's this conflict going on within you about what to do, how to act, how to move, how to step forward, what to say, the whole time you're overthinking this, masculines, you're not feeling satisfied, and you can feel that your feminines are not, because they you know, their wish being granted is you stepping forward with some form of communication or offering the physical. But I do feel once you're in a position where you can sort of, during this period of reflection and contemplation, you're going to be in a position where you're able to take that time out and work out what it is that's going to make you happy to bring this into this. So that once you've then healed that part, you'll be able to move forward and bring about a new cycle with your feminine, a new beginning. I feel almost here as well with the hedge with the arch in it, masculines. It is, you know, about you having the courage. You're sort of at the moment standing in front of that hedge. You're not sure whether you should walk through it or not. And this is just encouragement that, you know, it's there to be walked through, and on the other side there is happiness. On the other side of that, there will be fulfillment. There will be satisfaction. Also, it can be about fruition and things coming to fruition. So this can be also for me about, you know, wishes being granted, knowing that you need to step forward and bring about, you know, bring this wish to fruition for the feminines to bring about this new beginning. But when you're ready, we're going to take a little look at the physical 3D for you now, masculines. So you'll be able to have a little look. These cards are quite... So I can take a little look at what's happening physical for you, masculines. Wow, okay, so this is a different deck, yeah, so the feminine's reading, but we've got the sun come up again. So, you know, oh, that reminds me of that Elton John song, that one that goes, "Don't let the sun go down on me." What's that? I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, we'll move on. The sun card, again, is about happiness, and it's about vitality. I mean, look at the colours on it. That came up as a clarifier for the feminines. We've also got another major arcana card here with the world. And this is again about victory. I mean, look, masculines, if you're ever doubting yourself, take a look at these. One victory wreath here, another one here, and another one here. So, you know, don't doubt yourselves. Do not doubt yourselves. We also got the Four of Cups come up, masculines. So again, a little bit maybe there's, you know, the feminines are feeling like you're not seeing the connection, and maybe, just maybe a little bit, you're feeling like they're not seeing the work you're doing. Maybe, just maybe. It's beautiful. And I do feel that with the Wheel of Fortune as well, you know, and the world here, guys, that this is about massive change. This is massive shifts forward. And what's really beautiful is that in the feminines readings too, but with a different deck of cards, you know, the Fool and the Sun came up as well. And look, that's kind of youthful, fun, vibrant energy, you know, not a care in the world, going with the flow, allowing things to progress, and just feeling invigorated by connecting with yourself, finding balance and harmony. And do you know what's also beautiful here with these cards as well, masculines, is that you've got the Fool and the World card here, and that is a Fool's journey right there. That is symbolic of the major arcana from start to bloody finish. And this is all about going on that journey, learning about yourself, the world around you, this connection. And it's about having victory over that and over yourself, you know, over this journey. Stepping forward, you know. I'm going to put some clarifiers in 3D, but I do feel that masculines, I also feel as well with this reading is kind of like you know this is how your feminines are feeling because of the lack of physical evidence they're seeing in the physical 3D, yeah? But for you to be able to step forward, masculines, you need to have the same courage that the feminines have got in taking that leap of faith, you know? You can't be fluid and rigid all at once, you know? It's honestly speaking, it's one or the other, you know? Spirituality, ascension, twin flames, you can't look at it, the whole experience, with a rigid mindset, a black and white mindset, because you just send yourself crazy, you know? But that's beautiful that you're going from start to finish, and in, you know, in the last part of this reading, it's about happiness and vitality and energy. And I do feel, masculines, that once you do step forward, it's not going to be as bad as you think. Feminines aren't here to judge you. They're here to love you, and vice versa. Love you for all your curves and edges, all your perfect imperfections. Oh, that's another song as well. Terrible song. I always hear songs in my head. Does anyone else? I'm going to put the two songs that have come up. There was the Elton John one, which I've forgotten already, and then there was the other one. And I will remember the songs after, and I will put them in there just because they've come up whilst I'm doing this reading. So, masculines. Okay, so we've got clarifying the World card, clarifying the Sun, we've got the Seven of Wands again, so that's like victory. It's kind of like standing up for yourself as well though, but I still feel that with the energy on this, it's kind of like standing up for yourself, but in doing that you need to see the light, see the humour in the situation, you know, not drag yourself down, build yourself up, masculines. And clarifying the World card, you have got the Four of Pentacles, and that the Four of Pentacles in the upright is about holding on and not letting go, yeah? Holding on to a situation, wanting stability. But you can't have stability and faith. That like, you can be stable within your faith, but stability, this is that, what I said, rigid, fluid, that it's different. So I do feel that for this cycle to come to a close, you need to release that, and I do feel at the moment, masculines, that is what you're doing. You're releasing the need to control. You're not holding on so tightly to the ego and the ruling with the head rather than the heart or the intuition. And with the Four of Cups, you've got that clarified by the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is all about sort of taking time out to heal. Fours are about sort of having steady foundations, being solid. You know, you think of four tables on a leg. 4 legs on a table even. 4 legs on a table, no, whatever. The point is that 4s are stable, a bit like a table. If you take one of the legs away, it's not very stable, which is where the 3s are at. If you try and add another leg, that's kind of conflicted, which is where the 5s are at, right? So having 2 4s clarifying each other shows me that mentally and emotionally you are finding stability. And having the 4 pentacles within that side by side, but in the reverse, is telling me that you're releasing the need to control, hold on to, not surrendering. You're past that point now in the current physical. You're spending time finding stability emotionally and mentally right now. You've also got clarifying the Fool card, the three of I can't get my words out, get tired. The 3 of Swords. Now, normally that could be like a third party situation, but I feel almost in this energy with the 3 of Pentacles coming up, and my take on you wanting the feminine to focus on herself, I do feel a little bit here with the 3 of Swords. If you do not take this leap of faith, masculines, surrender the need to control. This is the advice for you. Surrender, let go, yeah, instead of holding on. Create about this new change and believe that these possibilities could be endless. You know, and mentally, if your brain is telling you something else, you need to fight for your right to party. You know, yeah, that's another song. Oh. But anyway, you need to stand up for yourself, you know, to be able to bring about this change and focus on yourself. Because if you don't, it's only going to lead to heartache for you. And I feel a little bit with this as well. Being the 3 of Swords, it's kind of like mental. The feminines are at the 2 of Swords energy, where they're struggling with the duality of it. And right now, you guys are sort of at a stage where they're toying between moving forward or not. And at the moment, you're not feeling stable enough just yet to move forward. So I feel that in letting go, finding stability, trusting in your intuition, bringing about this change, you will, you know, the satisfaction will come about and you'll feel a lot happier. I think if you continue to feel dissatisfied, it's only going to lead to heartache for you masculines. So, you know, my advice is to focus on yourself, your healing, and when you feel compelled to do so, reach forward, reach out to your feminines. Even if it's just, you know, a minor conversation to just say, hey, how are you? You know? Good to catch up for a coffee sometime soon, you know? How's life treating you? Just sort of general chit chat. Don't overthink it too much because, you know, you guys are one of the same soul. Right, I'm going to take a little look. I'm going to give you an additional Romance Angel Oracle card by Doreen Virtue. I'm going to just pull the one for you masculines. Just a little bit of additional guidance on what the Romance Angels are saying for you. But yeah, we definitely want to move away, masculines, looking at this from that sort of holding on too tightly to the way things used to be. Not being so rigid, being a bit more fluid about this and not overthinking the best way to move forward. I truly believe that you know, you can hurt each other in the twin flame journey, but I don't think you can completely, I'm going to swear here, so cover your ears. I don't think you can, you know, completely fuck up a connection, you know, not when there's love involved. We're all humans in a way as well, you know, trying to muddle through. We're going to make mistakes. It's how we learn. When readings go like this, I get goosebumps, you know. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So again, the female, you know, the feminine's got you are lovable, and masculines, you've got love yourself first. So again, this is about, I feel in the context of this reading, this is about you focusing on your own fulfillment and deciding when you feel ready how's best to move forward and communicate. But love yourself enough to know that you can't fuck up a twin flame connection. So don't overthink it too much, because if this takes too much control and you lead less with this, it's, I don't know, you're going to end up talking yourself in and out of that situation, and that's probably where that Knight of Cups and Knight of Wands energy comes in, you know. Right, this is a Doreen Virtue Daily Angel Guidance Oracle card. I'm just going to give you one more of these just to give you a bit of additional guidance, but this may not be relevant to the reading. It could just be general guidance for you guys, okay? Let's see what's going on. Release and surrender. We shower you with our blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms and heart to our love and assistance. So, hello. Holding on, holding on, holding on, this way round. Release. Release and surrender. Exactly what I've been saying for a long, long time. And let's leave this reading as I bring it to a close. Thank you so much to everyone that's watched and listened. Feminines, I miss you dearly. And I'm working on balancing my energy. Masculines, I wish you all the best of luck for this coming weekend and this coming week. Feminines, I wish you all of the best of luck as well. And I'll catch up with you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.